Hello, my lovely witches. I have a very quick little video for you today of a flip through of a book that I've been working on. It's a small book I've mentioned before in previous Book of Shadows tours that I have been interested in working with the Planetary Magick, planetary associations, that sort of thing. So I decided to make a little book about it because that's what I do. I make books about stuff. So here it is. This is my it's a little upcycled board book. I've done this shiny collage on the cover and used some gorgeous planetary washi tape around the edges, and then given it a coat of extreme glitter Mod Podge. Just one coat, so it's not, so the glitter doesn't get too much in the way of the actual collage. So there we have it. This is the little board book. As I said, it's a quick flip through because it won't take long. Doesn't have many pages. It's just a little delve into the planets. So obviously the first one being the sun and then the moon. So I've got a little bit of information gathered from various different places. These are the sort of traditional, what am I trying to say? Correspondences, that's the word. Words are hard. So I've used sort of fairly traditional correspondences. I think these actually came from a printable by Molly Roberts, and then the other stuff has been gathered from books and other information that I found. So we've got the sun and the moon, Sunday and Monday. Then we have Mercury and Venus. So I've also, in some instances, oh, words are hard today. In some instances, I've included some interesting facts, scientific facts about the planet, in this case Mercury, being close to the sun. Zooms around the sun in just 88 days, and it can be up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, 427 degrees Celsius. So not a planet I want to go visit. But interesting fact, if you then weave that through into your magic, if you want fast results, maybe work with Mercury. If you want to heat something up, get something going, maybe work with Mercury. So this one is Venus, and it had this cute little flap, which I managed to very badly cover. So we might go back in there and, add a bit of washi tape or something just to make it look a bit neater. And there's a little bit of room here if I wanted to add more. I think this is a book that I've kept it very, very simple, but there's a little bit of room to maybe add a little bit more information should I choose to, or to add some more imagery should I choose to. These cute stickers, by the way, came from Sarah Jane Art Magic. You may have seen her channel. I will link it or mention it in this video. And we go to Mars and Jupiter. This is cut from a book that I was repurposing. I had an old book it was sort of an encyclopedia of occult wisdom, I think it was called. It is one that I have not referred to for a long time. And I decided to use it in another project that I'm working on at the moment, which is a much more long-term project, but you'll get to see it eventually. It's a repurposed or altered book project. So I've used that book, and in doing so, obviously I've pulled out some pages from that book. So I tried to pull out pages from that book that I could repurpose as well, so that we're not, throwing things away. I know some people get very uptight about destroying books, as it were. I personally feel that if you are repurposing a book that would otherwise be discarded, and a lot of my repurposed books come from a secondhand shop anyway, so they've already been discarded by one person. This particular one that I'm talking about wasn't. It's actually a book that I've had in my library for a very long time. But I feel that if you are repurposing it into something that you're actually going to refer to and use, such as an art journal or a book of shadows or whatever, something like this, then it's a positive step. It's still keeping things out of landfill. And I don't think that it's not a destroying books for the sake of destroying a book. Does that make sense? You know, I think some people get very sort of, oh, you know, there's something very wrong about the destruction of books. And I think that's true if that destruction of books is about a political statement, or the idea behind it is to ban free thought. That's a really bad thing. That's terrible. But when it's done with a sense of reusing, repurposing, recycling, and creating something new from something old, I don't have a problem with it. Anyway, that was a tangent. So yes, this is actually cut from that book that I have used in another project, which at some point, probably in the distant future, you will see. Moving on. And we come to Saturn and Neptune. And again, I've used some information cut from that book. This one actually flips out to show a little celestial goddesses collage in there. And now this is an interesting one. Everyone has a struggle with the pronunciation of this planet because no matter what you do, it sounds rude. Oh, we have to love the childishness of the English language and our struggles with it. So the two most common pronunciations are Uranus. Yes, that sounds like urine. Or Uranus. Yes, that sounds like anus. So I heard someone the other day with a new pronunciation, which I really, really love. And it's one I'm going to use moving forward, whether it's completely incorrect or not, because it doesn't sound rude. And that's Uranus. And I'm like, yes, I like that. So this page is about Uranus. And then we have Pluto as well, which is one of the planets that rules my sun sign, Scorpio, my sun and my rising sign, by the way. I also have Mercury in that sign and, you know, some other issues with Scorpio. I'm very Scorpio. So Pluto rules Scorpio along with Mars. And then inside this little flap, I've done another little planetary collage, which needs some sticking down apparently. So these are really cute. These are washi tape planet stickers that come on a roll. Oh, I love them. They're so cool. And it was really nice to have this opportunity to just plaster them everywhere in this book. I had a lot of fun making this book. It was a small project, and simple project, which is good for me at the moment. I haven't had as much time as I'd like to be doing the things that I would like to do, which is just making art and witchcraft. And that's all right. Life does this to us. I went through something similar 12 months ago. You know, the last couple of years have been a bit of a challenge, and we'll get through it. And, you know, hopefully future years will be a little less stressful. Anyway, I'm off topic again because you know me, I have to ramble every single video that I make. So there we have it. This was a little small project. It was very enjoyable. I completed it, I think, within a weekend. I had a weekend free, and I was like, yep, just going to create something small. So now when it comes to using board books, I do recommend, and I didn't do it in this book and I should have, but I do recommend a very light sanding of the pages before you paint on them, because they are, you know, sort of essentially covered in a very fine layer of plastic. You know, that glossy pages, and that means that you paint can scratch off quite easily. I've used, in all instances in this, I've used a coloured gesso or a very matte acrylic, which has helped it to stick, but it is definitely possible that that's going to scratch off. So I'll have to just treat this book with care when I'm handling it. And next time I will do the boring task of sanding the pages before I paint them. That is something that I'm an impatient witch and a slightly lazy witch. I don't like the prep work of stuff. It's so boring. I just want to get to the creative bit. So I hate painting the pages even in this. It's so boring and it takes so long to dry. So yeah, that's like, I don't wanna. So sanding them is just adding another step in there, and I'm like, I don't wanna. So I didn't. Highly recommend you don't do what I do. Do the proper thing. Actually prepare stuff properly. It's like sewing signatures. I love collecting all my pages when I make a junk journal. Sewing of the signatures is so boring. And it's fiddly and I don't like it. But it's the only way to make a book. So it has to be done. So I hope you've enjoyed this mini flip through of my little planetary book, which I had a lot of fun making. And if you're looking for a small project, a board book is a great starting point for that, even with the boring bits of painting the pages and sanding and all of that. It's a quick project, and because they don't have very many pages, and I mean that varies a bit. Obviously you choose one that works for you. They can come in some interesting shapes, which can be fun. And like this one, they can have some little flip outs and flaps and pockets and what have you already built into the book. So that's something that I fully recommend if you're looking for a smaller project to work on. I think I've rambled enough. I know many of you have told me you enjoy my ramblings. Thank you. That means the world to me because I can't change who I am. I'm a rambler. And I do feel like very much like I'm having a chat with friends. It's a slightly one-sided chat because I can't hear your replies. And I know that if you're anything like me, when you watch these videos, you are actually talking out loud back to me when I say things. I just don't know that. Hopefully you're not yelling at the screen. You stupid idiot. Yeah, you know, because I hope not. But if you are, that's cool. It's all good. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, my lovelies.